What's up, everybody? This is the second YouTube live stream on NFL Talk with Caleb Steindale, and I'm coming to you live from the Outer Banks. I am currently here for a week-long stay, and I figured that now would be a perfect time to get some more football done. So we are going to be recapping week 4 of the 2016 NFL season today, and this is complete. I have literally no notes on this. I'm totally winging this. Obviously, though, right now the Minnesota Vikings are battling the New York Giants, which I have on my television up right now. And the score currently, the commercial right now, I believe it's 14-3. So I also got today is going to be pretty much my stat updater. So Tyler, score's still 14-3, right? The Vikings-Giants game? Okay, never mind. He has absolutely no idea. So also, regarding the microphone, quote-unquote, issues, I would say, I've been having a few issues with the mic. Tyler, has there been any improvement over what it was earlier? I think I tried to switch something. Does it sound quieter? No, I can talk a little quieter, right? Because I'm streaming. Yeah, so no difference at all. Okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna have to wing with this. Hopefully, I'm gonna be able to get at some point a new, some sort of a desktop mic. Hopefully I'll be able to get that. By the way, scored 17-3. Vikings on top of the Giants. We're watching right now. 6:40 to go in the third quarter. So we're going to talk about week 4 of the National Football League, which has not yet come to its conclusion. Like I said, this is totally, absolutely no notes or anything. It's totally interesting. So, good. First of all, before we kick things off with week 4 talk, I want to mention my website, which is nflwithcaleb.weebly.com. You can go there, and at the top left of the page, you will find links to my Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, all that social media. You're going to want to click on those to find the social media that NFL Talk with Caleb Steindale is on. Also on the website, you can find my weekly power rankings, my game picks, and my 4-down territory, which I release every week. By the way, I do want to quick mention my my Pigskin Pick'em, which I do on ESPN, which I am currently in this one group that I've joined, tied for first place. And so if you bet on any football games, or if you do Pigskin Pick'em like I do, you're going to want to check out my picks. I'm 43-19 on the season. That's 69%. Picks every Thursday at 10 a.m. And this week, so far, I am 10-4. 10-4 on the week. I'll be 11-4 if the Vikings pull through with a win tonight, because I have the Vikings winning. That'll be 4 straight weeks for me with 11 wins. So, yep. All right, so go to nflwithcaleb.weebly.com to get all those things. The only games I had wrong this week, I picked the Panthers to win, the Patriots to win, the Lions to win, and the Cardinals to win. Those are my 4 wrong games that I picked. So, can't be perfect, I guess. So, that is what's cooking in the world of NFL Talk with Caleb Steindale. So, still 17-3 Vikings on top of the Giants. But we're going to kick things off with a little bit of week 4 talk. And we'll start on Thursday when the Bengals took on the Dolphins at home in Cincinnati. And Bengals needed the win here. They were going into the game 1-2, down 2 games in the division. They were in third place behind both the Ravens and the Steelers. Ravens undefeated at the time. Steelers 2-1. They needed a win to keep pace with their division rivals. And they got the win that they were looking for. 22-7. over the Miami Dolphins. And I think that bigger thing to talk about here is not so much the Bengals and their win, because I think a lot of us expected the Bengals to get a win here. I most certainly did. But the more interesting thing here is, how bad are the Dolphins right now? Just how bad are they? The Dolphins are now 1-3, with their only win coming in overtime against the Cleveland Browns. Not impressive at all. Tannehill against the Bengals went 15 of 25, 189 yards, a touchdown, a pick, sacked 5 times. The O-line is doing him no favors. Passing game is subpar, to say the least. And then in the running game, they don't even run the ball that much, just 13 carries total. The leading rusher in this game was Jay Ajayi, who rushed 6 times for just 33 yards. Now, granted, that's a 5.5 carry, 5.5 yards per carry total, but still, no incredible numbers here. The Dolphins, in a division where the New England Patriots are 3-1, they already lost to the New England Patriots. The Buffalo Bills have just beat the Patriots, and then you got the Jets there too. 3 teams who are, I think, are contenders. I mean, they're all hanging around that same record, and I know it's early in the season. But the Bills are 2-2. The Patriots are 3-1, and the Jets, I'm not sure what the Jets record is. I'll have to check that. Check that right now. The Dolphins are having trouble, to say the least. Their only highlight came on a 74-yard Kenny Stills touchdown pass, in which the Bengals completely blew the coverage, to say the least. It was not good. That was pretty much it. A fluke play, you know. I am low on the Dolphins. I think this might be a little bit of a stretch, but are the Dolphins the worst team in the league besides the Browns? By the way, the Jets are 1-3, but that is worth considering. Are the Dolphins maybe the worst team in football next to the Browns? There's a discussion I think it's worth having. They're not performing well. The Cincinnati Bengals pick things back up. Dalton threw for nearly 300 yards. And A.J. Green, what a monster game for him. 10 catches, 173 yards, 1 touchdown, including a 51-yard reception, which is the longest of the day. Green's a beast. There's no denying that. That's really all there is to say about him. He's a beast. And moving on now into the 1 o'clock games. We have a London matchup here in which the Jaguars are technically the home team, although it doesn't matter because it's in London. Although I guess you could argue that the Jaguars team, because they play in London, they play in London more often. I don't know. But anyways, the Jaguars get the win. I picked this game correctly. I was one of the few to do so. Jaguars win 30-27. It was a win the Jaguars desperately needed, and one would argue that the Colts needed it as well. However, that division is not a good division right now. It isn't. Colts and Jags both 1-3. I'm trying to look up here what the records are for the other two teams. I believe the Texans are 2-2 or 3-1. I'm not entirely certain. I'm checking that out right now. Yeah, so the wrong conference. So it's a struggling division. Texans 3-1. All the other teams are 1-3. So to keep pace with the Texans, Jaguars needed to win. Colts also really wanted to win. The Jaguars are the team that gets it. Blake Bortles still struggling with turnovers. However, if you believe, Blake Bortles did not turn the ball over once today. After that. Yesterday, Sunday. Did not turn the ball over once on Sunday. Went 19 of 33 for 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nothing flashy, but he did enough. Andrew Luck is very much underperforming. He's been one of the biggest duds of the year so far. Sacked 6 times. The offensive line not doing him any favors. Just lukewarm. Very lukewarm. That's how I would describe. the Indianapolis Colts right now. Philip Dorsett had a highlight 64-yard touchdown reception. If you want to move over to fantasy, Dorsett is a guy that I'm not all that high on. A lot of people were, and just 3 targets, had a fluke 64-yard catch. That's not going to happen every week, and you wanted to see more than one catch out of Dorsett. So you kind of saved your fantasy day if you started him with that catch, but not high on him very much moving forward, especially if when Dante Moncrief comes back. So 30-27, the Jaguars over the Colts. The Texans get the win against the Titans, division rival. And the Texans, as I predicted at the beginning of the season, are showing themselves to be the top divisional contender. I picked them to win the division, and at this point, they're doing enough. 3-1. Marcus Mariota, poor performance, 13-29, 202 yards, one interception. Brock Osweiler, nothing flashy, 25-37, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, but enough to get the job done. And DeMarco Murray is a guy that if I'm checking on his current ownership right now. Now DeMarco Murray's only doing almost 100% of leagues, but if you have DeMarco Murray, props to you, because not only is DeMarco Murray involved in the running game, he's involved in the passing game. Caught another 2 passes, 24 yards this week, as well as 95 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Murray, one of the biggest surprises, at least for me this year. Lamar Miller, 19 for 82 on the ground, solid. A nice bounce back performance from Will Fuller, who yours truly started in fantasy this week in a league where you get points for punt return yardage, which he had a punt return touchdown. So Will Fuller had a big game. Count on Will Fuller. If Will Fuller is available in your league, pick him up. DeAndre Hopkins, just 1 catch on 6 targets. Fuller is cementing himself in that team. He has a very prominent role in that offense. And Brock Osweiler, he likes him a lot. And we're going to be seeing a lot of Will Fuller. So pick up Will Fuller if he's available in your league. He is currently, the ESPN, he's currently still available in 17% of leagues. Pick him up and start him. He's only being started in 36% of leagues. Pick him up, start him. Will Fuller, a guy I like. Also, if you're desperate at tight end, another 5 targets for Ryan Griffin. He's a guy that I like. Last week had 8 catches, 3 for 55 this week. I'm looking at Ryan Griffin's way. He's available in a lot of leagues. Probably in yours. Delaney Walker, don't give up on him. He had 8 targets. He's still the number 1 option in that offense. 27-20, Texans, I think, are going to be the division winners this year. The shutout from the Patriots last week, we're not going to see much more of that. And the Texans, their schedule here. I mean, the Texans don't have very strong divisional contenders. You expect their pathway to the division title is going to be pretty easy, although they do have the Vikings this next week. They've got the Vikings, and then they've got the Colts. They've got Broncos, Lions, Jaguars, Raiders, Chargers, Packers. So they do have a few tough games in there, but I think the Texans are going to pull through the division title. Let's see where I got to check how long I've been recording. Next game up, the Washington Redskins, who come away with a 31-20 victory at home against the Browns. And I mean, Kirk Cousins started off this game strong. Kudos to you if you own Kirk Cousins. 3 touchdowns, not a ton in terms of passing yardage, just 183 yards, 1 interception, but the 3 touchdowns. And Kirk Cousins, I think, is going to be in for a solid year. Started off slow. I think he's going to bounce back. It was a nice game against the Browns. You do what you're supposed to do. He's 21 of 27. You do what you're supposed to do against bad defenses, and that's pick them apart. And Cousins did so. Matt Jones, a nice showing from him, 117 yards on 22 carries, including a touchdown. But the guy that I am looking at here, if he is available in your league, pick up Terrell Pryor. Add Terrell Pryor right now. Pulling up the stats for you this week: 5 catches, 46 yards, including a touchdown. Currently, Terrell Pryor is owned in 82% of leagues. He's available in 18%. Terrell Pryor, stats over the past few weeks. 8 catches, 144 yards in week 3, including 4 for 21 and a touchdown on the ground. And then he had 35 yards passing that week as well. 5 for 46 in a score this week through the air. Pryor is a versatile player. Add him if he's available in your league. Jordan Reed, 9 for 73 and 2 scores. One of the other big games. Also, a bounce-back performance from Gary Barnidge, who caught all 7 of his passes for 57 yards. Keep him on your roster. Duke Johnson, 9 for 53 on the ground and 6 for 31 through the air on 8 targets, second on the team to only Terrell Pryor. He's a guy that I like. Keep an eye on him. Moving on. The Seahawks get the road win against the Jets, 27-17. Big story here for me was Brandon Marshall, who I very nervously started in a league at my flex spot, and it did pay off. He caught 4 for 89 and a touchdown on 12 targets. And then Quincy Enunwa, owned now in most leagues, but 6 for 60 on 7 targets. Add the guy. And with the injury to Matt Forte, we don't know how long that's going to keep him out. Bilal Powell. Not only did he rush for 4 for 26 on the ground, but 6 for 54 through the air on 9 targets, second on the team. This is a guy that I like. In fact, I love Bilal Powell because he's a 3-down back, and he is a guy that can really win you some fantasy leagues. So I like Quincy Enunwa, and I like Bilal Powell as well. Jimmy Graham, nice performance from him, 6 for 13. As for the quarterbacks, Fitzpatrick, if you have him in fantasy, drop him. He's not performing well. Russell Wilson, a nice game from him. 5 for -5 on the ground, so that was not encouraging. But 23 of 32 for 309 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air, 133.5 rating. So, big day for the Seahawks. They get the win, 27-17. The Bills upset the Patriots in Foxborough. And here's the thing, a statistic for you. If you do not know this, the last time the Patriots got shut out at home, you know who went to the Super Bowl? The Buffalo Bills. Not saying that's going to happen, but worth mentioning. 16-0. Bills beat the Patriots. The Bills deserve a lot of credit for this. People are wondering whether or not you should give credit to the Bills. How much credit do they deserve for beating a third-string quarterback? But last week we were talking about that. Last week we were talking about how incredible Jacoby Brissett and Bill Belichick were working together. Bill Belichick can win with anyone. So why didn't he win this week with Jacoby Brissett? Tyrod Taylor, nice day, 27 of 39, 246 yards and a touchdown. Tom Brady's back, though. So put him right into your lineup. Right into your lineup. And I heard someone say, and I completely agree with it, this could not have worked out any better for Tom Brady. Comes back to a 3-1 football team, very good record. Better than some expected. Certainly, most expected them to be 3-1 and not any higher, so that's good. It's Tom Brady. And also coming off a loss. He's the savior. There's no quarterback controversy here. Tom Brady returning this week. You know, a guy who I do like is Robert Woods. Yeah, Robert Woods of the Buffalo Bills. You might not even know who he is. But Robert Woods is a guy who got 10 targets and caught 7 of them for 89 yards, including a 23-yard reception. Yes. I am going to say, if you need a wide receiver 3, a flex option, add yourself some Robert Woods. Because with Sammy Watkins struggling with an injury, Woods is going to be that number one target. And a guy that Tyrod Taylor does like is available right now. Robert Woods is available 90% of leagues. You need help at wide receiver. Rob Gronkowski gets his first catch. Good to see Gronk back on the field and involved in the offense, if just slightly. Touchdown alert for camera. A bad angle there. Touchdown alert. The Giants scored. They're now down 17-10. Moving on, Panthers Falcons. And the Falcons get this win, 48-33. Falcons are legit. They're a legit football team. That sounds like a cliche word, but yes, they are legit. And I think this is more about how good the Falcons are performing. If the Falcons continue this pace, they are on pace to break the record for most points scored in a single season. 608. Current record 606, set by the Broncos in 2013. Falcons on pace to break that record by 2. Panthers struggle here. 2 interceptions for Derek Anderson coming in relief of Cam Newton. Newton didn't have a terrible day. People think that he did. He did. 14 for 25, 165 yards, and 1 touchdown. No interceptions. But then again, the Falcons aren't known for their defense. They're known for their offense, in which Matt Ryan lit up the Panthers to the tune of 503 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and Julio Jones, monster day. He becomes the 6th player in NFL history to get a 300-yard receiving day, 300 receiving yards on 12 catches, including a touchdown. The guy's a monster, absolute monster. Nothing more to say about that game. It is what it is. Raiders get their win in Baltimore. They knock off the previously undefeated Baltimore Ravens. 28-27. I also got this game correctly. I was in the minority. The Ravens just hadn't beaten anyone impressive. Really. They hadn't had any impressive wins. Carr goes nuts in this game. Only 199 passing yards, but 4 touchdowns. A nice day for him here. 2 guys that I like in fantasy, Derek Carr and Joe Flacco at the quarterback position. I'm going to check up on their ownership percentages right now. I like Flacco as a potential starting quarterback. Flacco is available in 68% of leagues on ESPN. Carr available in less. Carr only available in 17% of leagues. The 2 guys that I like, and I'll talk about Flacco here for a second. In Flacco's past several games this year, Flacco 12 points, 16 points, 11 points, 21 points. He next up gets Washington, New York Giants, the Jets, and then a bye, so a pretty solid schedule. Then coming out of the bye, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Those are 2 nice games. I expect Flacco to be a hot fantasy commodity here in the future weeks. Terrence West, a nice guy to look at in deeper leagues. 21 carries, 113 yards, and a touchdown. Steve Smith Sr. playing like Steve Smith Jr. 8 for 111 and a touchdown. And Michael Crabtree, 3 touchdown passes his way. He has a nice day. Broncos beat the Buccaneers 27-7 in a game that was also, for the 2nd straight week, a weather delay. Unfortunate here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But playing Tampa Bay, I don't know what I said. Jameis Winston, if you own him in fantasy, he's droppable. It was a bad day against the Broncos for him. 17 for 35, 179, and 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Paxton Lynch comes in place of Trevor Siemian, who gets hurt early. Lynch goes 14 of 24 for 170 yards and a touchdown. Good day for him. But don't go nuts and add Paxton Lynch unless you're super desperate. As for the rushing game, C.J. Anderson scored a touchdown on 49 rushing yards, only 2.6 yards per carry. Just 1 catch through the air. A down game for him, but you're still starting him. Don't panic on that. Rams upset the Cardinals, and the Rams are for real. The Rams are legit, guys. 17-14. 13. Rams over the Cardinals in this one. I'm scared if I'm a Cardinals fan. I'm nervous because this is not how I expected the Cardinals to start out. Case Keenum, 2 touchdown passes, 266 yards. He's clean. Todd Gurley, sad to see what Todd Gurley is doing right now. You'd think if the Rams went 3-1, Gurley would be more involved. Just 33 rushing yards on 19 carries. And through the air, 5 for 49. So he's involved through the air. You're going to start Gurley every week, most likely, unless you somehow have a better option, which I doubt you do. Cardinals, I'm nervous about Carson Palmer. Another turnover for him. Drew Stanton adds 2 more interceptions. David Johnson continues to be a bright spot. 4 for 41 through the air and 17 for 83 on the ground. Another good day and another game of over 100 yards from scrimmage. Saints and the Chargers. Saints come back and beat the Chargers 35-34. And they get their first win. So kudos to the Saints. I knew it would happen sooner or later. Not a lot to talk about here. Melvin Gordon has a dead game, unfortunately. Mark Ingram salvages this day with a touchdown, but does have 6 for 49 through the air. Dontrell Inman, Hunter Henry, Tyrell Williams. I like these guys on the Chargers. And Dontrell Inman, one of my number 1 ads this week. Go pick him up in fantasy. 7 for 120 yards and a touchdown on 11 targets through the air. Moving on to the Cowboys and the Niners. I would have liked to, but we'll keep things going. Currently 10.5 to go in the Giants-Vikings game with the Vikings on top. 17-10. Dak Prescott continues to be fantasy-worthy. Start Dak Prescott, add Dak Prescott. 24-17 Cowboys over the Niners. Ezekiel Elliott continues to prove me wrong week in and week out. Wasn't high on him at the beginning of the season, but 28 for 138 and a touchdown on the ground. Adds a 19-yard reception through the air. Interesting to watch. Jeremy Curley, 6 for 88 on 9 targets and a touchdown. He is a deeper league ad for me. Another team that gets their first win, the Chicago Bears. They knock off the Lions 17-14, and the Lions struggling right now. They're going to need to make up some ground if they want to have a chance against the Packers. Nice big long pass there from the for the Vikings from St. Bradford. Matthew Stafford, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. Brian Hoyer, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 302 yards. Should Jay Cutler get his job back? The answer is no. Brian Hoyer is playing much better than Jay Cutler has ever played this season. And Hoyer gives the Bears, I think, the best chance to win. Add Jordan Howard if he's available in your league, 111 rushing yards this week, including 3 for 21 through the air. Not much going in the Lions' backfield. Marvin Jones, 5 for 74, continues to have good games. Eddie Royal, a nice ad, 7 for 111 and a touchdown this week, caught all of his targets. And then the Sunday night slate featured the Steelers trying to bounce back after a blowout at the hands of the Eagles. They lost 34-3. And the Chiefs coming back after a very strong and impressive victory, 24-3, in which they intercepted Ryan Fitzpatrick 6 times and took the ball away 8 times total. They included 2 fumbles in that. Alex Smith attempted 50 passes, only got 287 yards passing. Camera problems. 2 touchdowns and a pick. Once again, a meh day for him. Le'Veon Bell comes back, and he is impressive. 18 carries, 144 yards for Le'Veon Bell. Adds 5 for 34 on the ground. Start him. And I know D'Angelo Williams gets the touchdown, but you can safely drop D'Angelo Williams unless you're a Le'Veon Bell owner. 43-14, a whopping 22 points scored in the first quarter for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're starting your Steelers, and Sammy Coates, surprisingly, the one who leads the team in targets with 8. He could possibly have deep league value. Marcus Wheaton gets the touchdown catch. Darius Hayward-Bay gets the touchdown catch. But both of them just had 1 reception. Only deeper league ads for me for them. And Antonio Brown, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. Start your Chiefs. I mean 1, Jeremy Maclin. Chris Conley, I think, a deeper league ad too, 6 for 70. And Albert Wilson leads the team in targets with 8. That's going to do it for this broadcast, this live YouTube broadcast for recap week 4. I've got some more stuff coming up this week on NFLwithCaleb.com, NFLwithCaleb.weebly.com. Can't even get the address right. Hopefully the microphone quality wasn't too terrible. I'll be looking into buying a new one for you guys. They need the best quality sound. So that's going to do it. Peace, guys. We will come to you probably at some point later this week. Happy week 5, which starts tomorrow. Peace out, guys.